Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Margaux, a movie about a house that is run by a computer and kills everybody. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 9. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Now, we've got these beautiful people, and they're going to spend a weekend in the smart house, and the house scans their retinas, and they go up to the house, and it has 3D printers. You remember that episode of Simpsons where Pierce Bronson did the voice of the house, and Homer and Marge and the kids moved into the house of the future, and then the house tried to kill them? Doesn't this look exactly like this? I mean, I think it had arms just like this in the episode. So, pretty derivative, in my view. Pretty derivative. I don't think this is the first time a story like this has been told. I think it's the first time they're doing it in this kind of movie form. And the house kills the kids one by one, traps them in the house. They tell themselves, oh, it was an accident, but no. Really, the house is killing them, won't let them leave, and one by one they die, and they try to escape. And I think there's a scene where one of them gets taken over by, or cloned, perhaps, somehow. So I don't know why the house is killing them. It doesn't seem like a strong enough concept for a 90-minute movie, does it? Especially when The Simpsons did it in 22 minutes. Screenplay by Christopher Bayrudy and Nick Waters and Chris Severinsen. Directed by Stephen C. Miller. I mean, do I think it's a bad idea? Story by Christopher Bayrudy and Nick Waters. Oh, okay. So Waters and Bayrudy are like a team. They came up with the story. They wrote a screenplay. And then I guess Chris Severinsen was brought in possibly to do some kind of extra work on it. And usually what will happen in a movie situation, you might have a situation where they bought a screenplay or started developing it with another director. They get a new director. Let's say it's this Miller guy, and then he brings in his screenwriter to, I want you to change certain things. And then the new screenwriter comes in, and then he gets credit too. That's kind of pretty standard on a lot of films. But they're all getting credit, so I guess, I don't know. The end result is not a movie I have much interest in seeing. I don't think it'll be awful. I don't think it'll be totally unwatchable. There's some hot-looking girls here. They're all young and beautiful cast. They're all going to have sex, but they're all going to die one by one. It's just that instead of Jason, a guy in a hockey mask, undead guy in a hockey mask with a machete, it's going to be a house using CGI and 3D printing. It's variation on a theme. But again, I mean, it's kind of been done. It was done in the Simpsons episode. So I don't really see much surprise in a movie like this. I guess you could say it's horror, but is it really all that scary if you know what's going to happen? And they show this in the trailer. It's not like I'm giving anything away. This is in the trailer. So, when you have a trailer like this, it's kind of hard to make the movie a surprise, right? Because all the movie then becomes about is, well, how do they try to get out of the house? So if you have really clever moves, but you also have to have really good explanations of why they can't get out. And that's really tough to do. I mean, if you remember in This Is the End, those guys smashed their way through a cement floor to get to Franco's basement because there was water in there, using pieces of furniture, basically. And that seemed pretty realistic. Actually, it seemed unrealistic it would take them that long and that it would be so much cement. But, I mean, a movie like this, I guess. I mean, it looks kind of, the effects looks cool. I'll say the effects look nice. You got the 3D printing. It's just all liquidy, and then it rises up and forms something. I think she copies one of the kids, and then they get cut in half at some point. I'm not sure how a 3D printer could copy a person and make them move around, but maybe, I don't know. It's just a movie. I mean, again, I you know, it doesn't seem like a bad concept. It just seems like a bad concept for a movie. Seems like if you wanted to do this, it would be an okay Twilight Zone episode, right? But the way I would set it up, you'd have to make the AI a surprise, because otherwise you're giving the whole store away. That's hard to do in a trailer like this for a movie, a standalone movie, right? Like how do you not give the store away? The only thing you could do is make the first act about, oh, we're going on vacation, and you make the characters really interesting, and then they show up, and in the second act you discover, oh, the house is an AI. I didn't know that was going to happen. And then you hope the audience doesn't put two and two together, that they're all going to be horribly murdered. Or you imply it's like somebody with them, or somebody like that could have been the move. Like you could have had a character, I don't know, next door or somewhere else, and put the focus on, this is another slasher movie where someone is being murdered. And then the surprise is, oh, it's the house. But you couldn't make the house, like this trailer, the of the showcase, because you're kind of giving the store away. You're the first act is going to be them getting together. Okay, we're going to this house, blah, blah, blah. It's a smart house. Okay. What's going to happen? Oh, well, the house is going to try to murder them. Okay. So now you know that. It's like that wind up until the house starts murdering people. It's going to be really tough to entertain you. It really is. Because you're just sort of like, all right, stupid dialogue. I get it. She's hot. Get to the murder. So, and that's going to be a big wind up. I mean, comparatively, it's going to feel big. The whole first act. No one's going to get murdered in the first act. Maybe the beginning of the second act. Then someone dies. Right? Someone dies in the first act. And then, in order to sustain the believability of the movie, you're going to have to somehow give us an explanation of why the kids don't immediately leave. They don't immediately start smashing the windows and walls to get the hell out of there. Right? Like, why did they stay? I mean, you could set it up that the one person who's killed was like, had one foot out the door, kept threatening to leave, and then they disappear, and the house, like, I don't know, makes them sink into a wall. And they're like, oh, so-and-so's gone. Well, they said they were going to leave. Then you could at least excuse the first person to disappear. Then when the second person disappears, you'd have to have the characters go, what's up? What's up? I'm calling and calling and calling. I can't, why did this person disappear? Maybe you could stretch it out that way, and then by the third act, of course, everybody knows, and they're fighting for their lives against the house. Yeah, see, I think this guy gets taken over by the AI somehow. Not sure how an AI could do that, or how they could kill him. It looks like they cut him in half at one point, or cut somebody in half at one point. I don't know. But it's called Margaux. Would I see this? Probably not. It's already too long for me. If this was a short film, an episode of The Twilight Zone, it was a half hour long, maybe I'd watch it. It'd be okay. For a whole 90-minute movie, I already know what's going to happen. I'm only interested in the last 20 minutes of the movie, where they kill the house and two of them escape, I guess. And then one who escapes is like secretly taken over by the house. I don't know. Yeah, I think this was not an awful idea, but you're giving the store away here. You've given the store away. I already know what it is. I already kind of know the ending. Yeah, I don't know why you cut it like this. The smart thing would have been to somehow mix it up that it was make it look like an older house. There's no reason it had to be a super modern looking house. It could have been an old cabin in the woods that they outfitted. I mean, the thing is a 3D printer. It could print anything it wants. So anyhow, it's called Margaux. I don't think we have a date. Oh, wait, we do. Digital and on demand, September 9th. Can't see it behind the YouTube stuff. So, It might be pretty watchable, except that they give it all away in the trailer. So if you could forget by then, remember September 9th. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. I just added another signing date on my book tour, September 3rd at Thunder Road Books. That's in Spring Lake, New Jersey. Check the link below. Also, Saturday this weekend, Ambler, PA for the Ambler PA Comic Con and Street Festival. Sunday at Paranormal Books in Asbury Park. See ya in the next one.